Over at Marvel Comics, the publisher has been teasing their Fall of X event, which could lead to the dissolution of the X-Men's current home operating out of the nation state of Krakoa. And it looks like one of the key plot threads leading to this storyline is the kind of formation of the Stark Industry Sentinels currently being built out of the new Stark Unlimited owner, Feilong. Feilong assumed ownership of Tony Stark's Stark Unlimited company alongside X-Men villains Nimrod and Dr. Stasis. My name is Ariko Braddock, and today let's go ahead and take a brief look over at Invincible Iron Man number 4 to see all of the ways this series is leading to the X-Men's Fall of X storyline. But before we get deeper into the video, I want to go ahead and encourage you to consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that like button if you enjoy our content. And I want to kick things off by reading Marvel Comics' solicitation text for the issue. The autobiography of Tony Stark, Chapter 4. Genius, billionaire, playboy, madman. Tony Stark has met his dark counterpart, and his name is Feilong. This mutant-hating industrialist is the new owner of Stark Unlimited, and that includes all of Tony's tech. Can a furious Tony keep his cool, or will vengeance get the better of him? And I want to go ahead and read off our creative team. This issue is written by Gerry Duggan, featuring art from Juan Frigeri, colors from Bryan Valenza, letters from VC's Joe Caramagna, and a cover over from Kael Ngu. Here's a look over at the cover for Invincible Iron Man number 4 from Kael Ngu. I really enjoy how this cover sort of kind of teases the, big battle between Tony and Feilong that we get across this kind of chapter of the series. Essentially, this issue is all about Feilong assuming control of Stark Unlimited, and Tony is kind of very tenuously attempting to sort of come to grips to this new kind of chapter and development in his life. Of course, this has been made all the worse for Tony, as in previous issues of Iron Man, Tony's confidence has really been shaken by someone who has kind of been, framing Tony for all of these events and crimes that he hasn't done, which has sort of naturally led him over to kind of Feilong, who recently just kind of assumed ownership of his company. So kind of throughout this series, we're watching Tony kind of come to grips with Feilong and actually, rocket into a battle with him, as Tony and Feilong sort of don't see eye to eye on so many concepts. And, once Tony is able to kind of capture the true scope of Feilong's incredible ego, he can't help but sort of lash out at him. Plus, as we kind of see throughout this issue, Feilong definitely encourages, this fight between Tony, and also manages to sort of egg him on too, by playing into his ego. I really enjoyed how in this issue, Gerry Duggan kind of referenced the previous elements of Feilong, as well as previous stories by author Jonathan Hickman, as well as giving us a sort of recap over of the Krakoa era of Marvel Comics. And I really enjoyed some of the work over from Juan Frigeri in the issue. I think Juan Frigeri did a great job depicting Feilong throughout this issue in his kind of, various, states of panic. Towards the end, I really love how, Feilong really manages to sort of lose his cool and sort of his grip on the situation as well. And we see Feilong kind of lashing out appropriately depending on, which scene he's in. And I think Frigeri really kind of captures all of these kind of character defects that Gerry Duggan was trying to sow in this character. I really like the fact that Feilong is such a sort of, flawed individual that manages to lose his temper. And I really like the fact that Frigeri was able to draw some of these fight sequences. I think Frigeri really manages to kind of lay each page out with a really fascinating panel composition featuring like character bleeds and, panels that are in really kind of fascinating places in order to keep readers' attention kind of throughout the story as well. And I also really appreciate how ambitious this story is. There isn't one post-credit sequence in this issue because there's actually two post-credit sequence issues throughout this title, and each one does kind of intersect with the really fascinating aspect of Marvel Universe, and definitely sort of teases future X-Men storylines that are going to go ahead and spin off over in this sort of main Iron Man series. And really, I just had such a great time over with Invincible Iron Man #4. I think this is sort of a great chapter that introduces just a couple of plot elements over for Fall of X. I really enjoyed how this issue managed to kind of implement so many plot threads from previous X-Men series, like the sort of background behind Feilong as a character, which was fleshed out in a previous kind of X-Men comic book. And really think that Marvel's kind of entire plotting over on Fall of X with these kind of sister books have been so robust as of right now. I can't wait to see how these other plot threads are going to lead to kind of the Stark Industry Sentinels, and it looks like Tony Stark is eventually going to go ahead and team up over with the X-Men. So really curious how, these books will kind of intersect even farther. I want to know from you, what are some of your thoughts over on Invincible Iron Man 4? Did you enjoy this issue as much as I did? And are you looking forward to the Fall of X event? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for coming to check out the video, and we'll be back really soon with more excellent comic book content. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.